Hey everyone, how's it going? So I want to make this video something I can point people to whenever they ask why I'm not playing the game as much and what my opinion is on everything. So the game has a lot of issues. I guess if you've played enough of the game, you know what I mean. Constantly crashing, getting DC'd, doing boss fights after using your potions for farming, your coupons, and then everything just disappears because buffs don't matter if you DC. That's an issue that Nexon hasn't addressed. I think most people in the community just take it as granted, and that's how things are. So just learn to deal with it, and that's a sentiment that I really hate. So I have some specific issues that I have with the game that aren't really common to other people. As someone who likes playing healers and supports, this game doesn't cater to that audience at all. Like, you don't know if your buffs affected your party members, you don't know if your heals worked, you don't know if your teammates have debuffs unless you see the little icon above their head. And if they're jumping around or using skills, it's just you can't see that at 100 transparency. Just you can't. So yeah, as someone who likes playing supports, as someone who wanted to play a bishop, I just realized that this is not what this game is about. So it's just not for me. And touching on that subject, Kana is also an issue. The amount of support that something like Kana brings to the game, and before or after the rework, it's not that much changed. It's 25% off on the long bind, and the other one's cut in half to match what everyone else has, just by the way. And they have 2 binds, which most characters only have one on a huge cooldown. But the main thing is domain. People just completely forget that domain does 33% final damage to everyone in the party, and plus 2 attack speed. They completely forget that that's a thing. I don't know. Maybe because some Kanas don't charge their domain up fully before they bind. I don't know. So yeah. So Kana brings much more as a support than Bishop, and it's just sad to see one class that can mob, be a support, now be a damage dealer, because the rework is just insane. And Kana is just good at every aspect of the game. There's just no reason to play any other class besides flavor or whatever you want. Or you don't like the TP. I mean, whatever. So yeah, that's one gripe I have. The rework isn't balanced for GMS standards, and GMS just copy-pasting that into the game is really not healthy for the state of the game. People can disagree with me. People can say that Kishin is the issue. I personally don't think that Kishin is the issue. You can farm with lower rates. You just have to get used to it. But you're not gonna reach as far as everyone else can. The whole 2 computer thing also really pisses me off. As someone who made a kind of on the second computer on the laptop, I just can't bear to be playing a game with 2 computers on at the same time. That just seems so unreal to me, and I feel so bad. Just on my desk I already have 2 screens, and then I have an extra computer on top. It's completely surreal to me. And to think that it's a standard and accepted in this game, that's just completely unreal. They tried to remedy this with the Fury Totem. It doesn't remove Kishin from the game. People who use the computers are going to keep using it. And their intended audience is people who are casual. but the item lasts for 2 hours. In this game, 2 hours is a really long time span to potentially crash and lose your buffs, lose the totem duration, whatever. But in my personal opinion, as someone who doesn't like grinding for 2 hours, the item lasting like 30 minutes, 1 hour would have been the maximum. If they're going to appeal to people who are casual or semi-casual, they can't just put an item for 2 hours. That's just... It's not good for the people who use Kishin, and it's not good for people who don't use Kishin. There's a very small percentage of the population that's gonna enjoy this new item. I'm not gonna touch on the Maple Points thing, because you can get the Maple Points. That's not really an issue. So I think that Nexon doesn't really know what their audience is, or they want to cater to that elite group of people that have played the game since forever and are stuck playing this game because they invested so much time into it that they're not going to move to anywhere else. It's the people who accept that the game crashes on them constantly, the people who accept that it takes forever to log in, the people who accept that maintenances sometimes last upwards of 3 hours on a weekday. Actually, it's good that it's on a weekday, but doing maintenances on Friday, which is the weirdest day and can lead to complications and them having to stay over the weekend. I don't know what's going on in their head, but I don't think Nexon really caters to new people and the semi-casual, whatever you want to call it, people. The game itself, it has a lot of grinding, and I understand it's a Korean game, people like grinding, I have nothing against it, but at points it feels like the grinding is just padding to show how little content the game actually has, at least late to endgame content. If you look at it just from what the game offers, you have the Black Mage, good luck on reboot. You have Veracilla, okay, recently came out, these two. You have Will, you have Lucid. And then everything else is old content that you can do, but it's not really made for the people who have played the game for a long time, or the people who are progressing into the mid and end game. So the game doesn't really offer that much. If you want to progress, you're going to be doing hard bosses, you're going to be grinding. And you're doing 2 bosses and grinding. And then the money you spend is random progression, because things can blow up, things can go back down. You can spend billions and not get anywhere, while someone else just spends 1 or 2 billions and gets 22 star pieces. I mean, it's just completely completely random, and this is coming from someone who's more lucky than unlucky in star forcing. So I feel bad knowing that I have those times where I can't get anywhere with the money I spend, but then I do. It feels awful. So yeah, this is my ramble. I didn't script any of this. I just have some key points that I want to address. So yeah, I'm not going to be playing the game as much based on these things. Someone who likes to play Bishop, I would love to have a support class, a healing class. The revive also counts as a death because reasons. Someone said you can use that on the last life, but isn't that a bug? Because you're supposed to die, you're supposed to lose a life, so that could be seen as bug abuse. A healer, almost everything one-shots you. There's one useful skill in Bishop's kit, 2 if you count Benediction, but as a support, as a healer, there's shell, and it's just useful in very specific situations where it just doesn't feel good, and you don't even know if people got your shell or not. There's no way to know. Again, going back to what I said earlier. So yeah. Another issue, Jett. Doing choo-choo on Jett, you just crash all the time. You can't use Cosmic Upheaval in Lacaline or choo-choo. I don't know above, that's just the two that I've been mentioned. And Nexon has known this for ages, but they either don't have the manpower to fix it, or it's just not a priority. And I can't see why, because a game behaving the way it should be your top priority, in my opinion. But again, they just want to cater to those people who just accept that the game has flaws, the game has bugs, and that's how it is, and you just need to adapt. So yeah, one thing I wanted to do though is make a video about Jett memes, because I mean, I made a Jett for a reason, so let's just point out everything that makes little sense, okay? So I'll start off with this. It says it has no cooldown, but if you look over there, it goes on cooldown. Why is that? I don't know. And you can't use it multiple times. Something else. Permanently enhances strength, dexterity, HP, and magic attack through physical training. But then it gives HP and MP. You might want to look into the translations you do, Nexon. Just putting that out there. Also, giving strength. I mean, you can give me my secondary stat all you want, but that's not really helpful anymore. Again, giving strength. Also, 25% damage. Really good. What else is there? Vortex Cross. I'll get to nodes in a little bit. The crashing skill, when you'll reach Choo-Choo and Lacaline. 25% ignore defense, okay, that's not bad. 15% damage, great. Accuracy, pretty useful. Falling Stars didn't crash me, but people have said that it does, I don't know. And 11% damage. That's just what I want. 20 points for 11% damage. Another meme. Not enough skill points. Where is it? You don't have enough skill points to max everything. Like in these two. Because you have 5 skill points remaining when you get to 5th job, and you're always going to be constantly reminded that you have skills to spend, even though you don't really have anything to spend them on. More memes. 50 range increase. Yeah, that's really what I want out of my hyper passives. Onto even more funky shit. Focused attack. If attacking a single target, the total number of attacks increases by 4. Where does it increase though? Does it increase for the 310% or for the 372%? Is it 4 to each? Is it 4 to the first one, to the second one? 2 to each? Who knows? And nodes. It's not the cross vortex. Yeah, the cross vortex node does not increase cross vortex's damage. Why? If I had to guess, I would say it's because cross vortex gets improved by this skill. And this is actually what's doing damage, but the node boosts the skill that doesn't do the damage. That's just me making an educated guess. Another thing, turret. It sucks. And it doesn't crit. Oh, yeah, and Singularity Shock. Roots in place for 2 to 3 seconds, and it's not an iframe. Good job. I mean, I'm proud to get stuck in the same place for 3 seconds and not be able to dodge anything the boss throws at me. And HP and resistance. Active skill. Also pretty useful. Another thing, Orbital Strike doesn't always follow bosses. For example, in Gollux, it doesn't hit the gem. Yeah, which makes it so I can't do Gollux at almost 2 mil range. Yeah, almost 2 mil range. Great. And the skill that doesn't do anything, because it doesn't do damage. So great, Jett has 2 5th job skills. Hey, at least we have a flag, so that's useful. So yeah, I think that's all I really want to say. Again, I'm not going to be playing as much because of all these things. It takes a strong willpower to keep playing a game after seeing how it works and how it performs and everything else. I mean, I applaud everyone who can do it, but it's just not for everyone. Just look at what Wreckful did. I mean, imagine how successful this game would be if a streamer like Wreckful actually played the game for more than 10 minutes because the game just crashed on him and he quit, because that's what reasonable people do. The game crashes on them, they quit. So yeah, that's all I want to say. So thanks for being here. Thanks for coming onto my streams if you did. I'll probably keep streaming, I don't know. I've been playing Terra recently and I've been having a blast. Mostly because I can finally play a support, because that game actually has a support. 2, actually. And yeah. Thanks for sticking around. And I'll be seeing you.